Elect Donald Trump gets closer to his second inauguration. A new Quinnipiac University poll released just a few hours ago shows how Americans feel about his return. Tim Malloy, Quinnipiac University poll analyst, joining us now live to talk about those results. Tim, thank you for your time.
Of course, Ashley, good to be here.
You know, before we dive into the results, it's always important for us to establish methodology. So tell us who you all talk to and how you talk to them.
Here's the way it works. When we do a national poll, this is our first one since the election. We call for 4 days. We call thousands of homes. We call cell phones. Random digit dialing computer picks the numbers, so we can't predict who's going to be called. But it all comes down to getting good answers. We have 150 callers calling thousands of people. And at the end of the day, we just average out the numbers and we tell you what the public is thinking. It's basically we're reflecting what people are thinking about what's going to happen. We ask them questions, they answer them.
Yep. Let's get to the findings. The most obvious overall reaction to the former president returning to the White House. How are people feeling?
People are feeling okay. I mean, there's always a little bit of a honeymoon when a new president comes in, but the president's numbers are good. 53% saying they're pretty optimistic. Americans are happy about this. 42% not so much. So it's not a terrible start at all.
Okay. How does this really compare to past poll results about attitudes on Mr. Trump? You guys have obviously been doing polling, for quite some time now.
Yeah. I mean, he had pretty miserable numbers in the 4 years he was in 40% and lower. So this is a very good start for him compared to where he was. But again, the caveat is all new presidents start out looking pretty good in the numbers. And then, they may stay there, they may not.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues of his campaign this time around was immigration and his plan to execute what he calls mass deportations. How are Americans feeling about that plan?
They're not crazy about it. 52% of Americans, as opposed to 42%, are, let me get this right, the undocumented pathway for undocumented kids. That is people want that to happen. And that has been one of the tenets of his campaign was that we're going to get a lot of people out of here. There is a pushback on that. And the children who are born here should not be deported. There's a very large number of people who say they should not be. So it's going to be a tough road to hoe. And everybody knew it going in. But yeah, people are generally, they care about the immigrants who are living in this country more than they don't.
Interesting findings there. Another key issue for the president was the economy, and he plans to levy tariffs against China, Canada, and Mexico. People are now realizing that could mean higher prices for consumers. So what are the attitudes about his tariff plan?
It's generally a small majority are against it. As you can see, 51% is opposed to 38%. That's a majority, not a huge majority. But as you mentioned, Ashley, the pushback on this is that if you raise tariffs against countries who import, they will charge more to send stuff to us. And it can be worse the other way. So that's another one like immigration where he's going to have a tough road to push things through, at least in the minds and hearts of Americans.
Yeah. Of interest to people here in Central Texas, you all had a question on the poll about Elon Musk. Tell us what you were asking about Elon Musk and the response you got from folks.
Do you disapprove of businessman Elon Musk playing a prominent role in Trump administration? And a pretty good sized majority don't want him doing this. So there's your numbers right there. And very nice graphics, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for taking a look at those. And we thank you also for your time today. Of course, you can find a link to the full poll at KVUE.com. Tim Malloy, Quinnipiac University poll analyst, we thank you again for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you, Ashley. Bye-bye.